Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Zero to Funded Day 2. It is the 2nd of July, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today was honestly, I unfortunately took a loss. Then the loss was because I moved my stop way too early, and also, well, it was for good reason. I'll explain. Um, so I ended up having a loss, and then from there, I ended up entering back in and then smashed longs. My original bias was longs, so I ended up losing my first long trade, and then on top of that, I ended up winning back and then gaining the money back that I lost, and then on top of that, more some. So let's talk about it. Um, so unfortunately, I lost my winning streak because of that. I don't even know. I think I was on like, bro, I want to say a 6 day winning streak, 5 day, six, either five, six, seven. One of those winning streaks that I was on. Point is, I lost. I had a feeling I was gonna lose it anyway, so I'm kind of glad I lost it to something slight. Um, and we'll just literally just talk about literally what happened today and just everything about it. So coming into today, I'm not going to lie. Right off rip, bro. I don't use daily profiles, but right off rip, I went onto the 5 minute and I pretty much looked at what London session did and what New York is predetermined to do. This really looked like a London manipulation reversal, New York continuation. That is literally what we did. We ended up manipulating down and then continuing. We ended up breaking 5 minute structure, causing a reversal. What did New York do? New York looked like a continued. I mean, New York was literally a continuation. That's how I learned my daily profiles. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me, but I'm pretty sure that is like a clear continuation of right. On top of that, I don't really use daily profiles, but I was looking at what was above us. I just look at daily buys, literally just looking at internal and external. I'm looking at the 4 hour and I'm looking at the hourly. What do we have on the 4 hour? We have literally so much out draws and liquidity, and we also have an unfilled gap. This right here is free money. What do we have below us? If you said nothing, you're a smart person. And why are you saying nothing? Well, because there's no reason to come down here if this low during London session already wiped out all of these substantial lows, right? This low is so unachievable right here, but I marked it up because again, at the end of the day, you never know what market is going to do. We're all just doing high speculative guesses. Obviously with predetermined bias, with predetermined um, market and technical analysis, but at the end of the day, you never know what market is going to do unless you have that edge and unless it's right in front of you. So I ended up marking out this low because I was like, okay, you know what? We'll just leave it here just in case. I don't want to, I don't want to be cocky. So obviously that's how you do it. At the end of the day, you are still a student. And with this in my mind, I looked in the hourly right before when 9 a.m. open when 9 a.m. candle was going on. I looked at the hourly. I was like, okay, we're honestly probably going to have a bullish SMT. On top of that, what made my conviction stronger? London session manipulation, London session consolidation, manipulation, reversal, New York continuation. So in my mind, I'm like, bruh, this is going to be like free longs. And on top of that, we have so much draws and liquidity. And I'm not going to lie, I honestly would have been like this would have been like crazy if I held to this, but I'm not going to do that because at the end of the day, I'm only here for what should we call it? I'm here to pass the funded. I'm here to get consistent goals. I'm not here to freaking hit home runs, baby. I don't play baseball. I play basketball. You feel me? Anyways, the point is, let's go on to the 5 minute and let's figure out what did I do? How did I lose my first trade? How did I win my second trade? And basically win all my losses back. So coming out to the 5 minute, I'm not going to lie, we were very stagnant with how we opened. We had NFP today. Was it NFP today? No, that's tomorrow. So I'm probably not gonna trade tomorrow. So we had NFP today. Non-farm employment change, and it didn't do anything drastic to the markets. This was data highs right here, and this was technically my first take profit. Not really like take profit to move my stops to break even. And with that being said, excuse me. With that being said, I ended up marking out data highs. My data highs were right here. I deleted it on Nasdaq because I don't know if you guys have been seeing recently. Nasdaq and ES are sort of not really correlated at the moment. Obviously, they're working towards getting correlated again, but I think now it looks like they're pretty correlated. But literally yesterday, they were not correlated at all whatsoever. It was pretty wonky, and I was able to catch a trade, so that was actually pretty good for myself. Um, But with that being said, on the 5 minute, we didn't really have anything too strongly. However, on the 5 minute on NASDAQ, we ended up coming into this order block. We also ended up coming back into this gap, retesting both these PD arrays, and ended up getting a nice rejection out of it. Um, However, I was pretty stagnant on the fact, not pretty stagnant, I was pretty clear on the fact that I was like, okay, I probably won't even need a 5 minute PD array. I'll just need to work with my 1 minute entry model and just with time and just seeing how the macro fits and how my confluence fits on the time, because I'm looking at the higher time frame. We have an SMT. Only thing I need to worry about is not getting fried on the 1 minute. If I don't get fried on the 1 minute, then 5 minute, 15 minute will all add up for my 1 minute to be golden. You know what I'm saying? So 5 minute, I didn't really like have anything too special. We ended up having this order block, and we ended up getting a tap into that. So I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine by me. Within the 5 minute order block, we ended up creating. Well, prior to the 5 minute order block, we ended up having a nice 1 minute SMT. On top of that, I was pretty like ready, like down and dirty to get to work. As you can see, the SMT is right here. From there, I pretty much just waited. Like literally, I waited for everything to like show up. Honestly, I deleted all my drawings, but I'm pretty sure we can mark it out again. Um, Excuse me. So first trade, let's talk about the first trade. We ended up having our change of the state right here. Our series of down close candles. Some people count it as one down close candle, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I'll probably have to backtest that to give that some stats. But we ended up having our series of down close candles. We also had another SMT right off open, causing multiple SMTs this session. I'm not going to lie. On top of that, excuse me, we ended up coming into this order block. Technically, it is an order block formation. Change the state of direction. After that, we ended up coming back into it, creating a gap, and we ended up coming in, filling in this gap. My entry was right off of here. And my first stop, well, my entry was right here. And my first stop, I'm not going to lie, was under the SMT low. What was I targeting? I'm not going to lie, I was targeting big money. I honestly wanted this whole gap to be filled. If we're going to be completely honest, I wanted this whole gap to be filled. Excuse me. Because I looked on NASDAQ and I was like, bro, this is free money. Like, do you know how much draws to the upside that we have here? We have no draws to the downside. We have an SMT protecting us. This is so clear to me. So this was my original trade, and I'm not going to lie, I got fried. I'm going to explain how I got fried. I was in the trade. We had many equal highs. I was waiting for us to have a strong displacement to run towards these equal highs so I can go to my break even. That's usually how I go break even, with strong displacement, because we'll get a mini retrace, but with the strong displacement, it's clear direction where price wants to go. And I'm not going to lie, I thought there was an SMT formed here. Just because we had so many freaking wicks, dog, I was like, what the hell? And is this it? So we ended up creating equal highs here. We ended up having a higher high here, and we ended up having a higher high here. But we ended up having a lower high. So with that being said, I literally ended up moving my stops so the way I could literally mitigate my risk to half of the fair value gap. Not half, to the bottom of the fair value gap. I'm not gonna lie, I got stopped out. Yeah, it sucked. I was like, damn, bro. So I waited a couple minutes to see, because at this time it was 9:56. I entered again at 10:02. So I waited for 9 a.m. candle closure to see how 10 a.m. is going to open. Excuse me. And how did 10 a.m. open? We opened low, then we end up having a high close. So I was like, fire, bullish, bro. Let's see what we got going on. So again, I was willing to re-enter because I was confident. We have no draws to the bottom of us. I'm like, bro, we're protected by these SMTs. I'm just so confident that, not overconfident, but I am like really confident with the draw and the hourly SMT. That was like my main thing, because I'm looking at the higher time frame. So again, we got dirty. What did we have? We had another change in the state. This time, it was literally the continuation, not the reversal one, because at the end of the day, like, we broke 1 minute structure, but we didn't break 5 minute structure. You feel me? It was just a 5 minute retrace that I got my ass, like, I literally got caught in. That was pretty unfortunate. That's what I noticed. I got caught in the 5 minute retrace within the 5 minute order block. So that was on me. That was on me. My bad. Okay, so that was on me. I got caught in the 5 minute order block, so that was totally on me. Like, just on the 5 minute retrace. Now looking at it in hindsight, I'm like, damn, I should have kept my stop underneath the SMT low, because that is the protected low. So I wasn't upset. I was like, damn. but it's okay because I had a good reason to move my stop to the way it was because I thought there was an SMT just the way those wicks were there, and just because we were like strongly displacing, we ended up invalidating it when I got stopped out. But I guess that was just for I guess just some troll shit. Not really troll shit, just for the 5 minutes to retrace. So with that, I was perfectly fine losing because again, like I said, I was mitigating risk. I didn't really care, and as well, I knew my drawn liquidity was gonna make it back, so I wasn't really worried about the money that was lost. I was really just worried about me being right for the day. So boom. Next thing we have a freaking another change in the state, right? We ended up reclaiming this inversion gap back to a regular gap. On top of that, what did we do? We ended up coming in and filling this gap, and boom, that was my execution. Right after that closure, boom, literally with like 2 seconds left, boom, I was stagnant. Not stagnant. I was certain that we were gonna bro. My God, my brain is so slow. I was stagnant, not stagnant. I was certain that we were gonna go higher, especially with that closure after filling in that fair value gap. Boom, easy. First, my original stop loss, I'm not going to lie, was not this. Like, what's my original stop loss was, bruh, hello, whatever. My original stop loss was actually underneath this low right here. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Okay, let's move it right here. It was right here. I'm not going to lie. And then this was my original stop because at the end of the day, it was underneath this fair value gap low. So I was like, okay, boom. We ended up having multiple equal highs on top of that as soon as well, excuse me. As soon as I got a good reason to go break even, I went break even, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not get a good reason to go break even until literally we took our data highs. So until we got took our data highs, we ended up creating multiple equal highs, which was adhering to my bias even more. And I'm like, dog, this is beautiful. This is literally so fantastic. I love to see this. As soon as we took out all these equal highs, I ended up mitigating my risk. Literally just moving my stop right here originally to where it was. Right here. Ended up moving my stop. I ended up moving my stop loss right here because I'm like, okay, we're well above this. We're retracing a really good amount. We should not. Whoa, excuse me. We should not like. We shouldn't really like come back down and just invalidate this whole thing, especially because we have that bullish SMT. So I'm literally staking on the higher time frame. So on top of that, we ended up wicking so many times, and as soon as we took out data highs, I ended up going break even. I was like, okay, now it's perfectly time for me to go break even. On top of that, we ended up having an SMT. So as soon as we made that other SMT, I ended up trailing my stop loss to this SMT. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what this random surge was at 1025. This was kind of crazy. Like that was like insane big money. I'm not going to lie. Um, this random surge out of nowhere, literally just freaking boom, like literally freaking hit me to my stake profit, and I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the trade recap. That's literally how I lost my win streak, and then I started with another win. So at the end of the day, I'm not really too upset, but at the end of the day, I was right. So that's all that matters, whether you're right or wrong in the trading world. So I mean, yeah. Only thing that I would have done differently, because everything was perfectly executed, really discretionary. I've been noticing I'm taking a lot of A plus setups. Only thing that I would have done differently, I'm not going to lie, is just stick to the drawdown. Like literally, I could have just kept my low at this SMT low, and then obviously it would have been protected, and we would have kept on going higher. But I don't know. I genuinely thought there was an SMT being made, but that was definitely my fault. Um, but it's okay because it's not okay because I should have just kept it at that original low because that low was a protected low. Um, on top of that, it would have been able to. I mean, the only good thing from it was the fact that I was able to mitigate my risk properly. Only bad thing from the multiple bad things from it is I ended up losing my winning streak, and I got chopped out when I wasn't supposed to get chopped out because my entry was really good. It was literally off the gap entry, and then literally below the SMT low. But I think that's like the only thing I would have done differently. Everything else was really fair game, really easy. I'm pretty sure we consolidated around this level because this is when ES, not ES, this is when Nasdaq took London session high. Um, and we ended up causing a mini reversal, and we were also just chopping up. What I've noticed is like every time we take a key level, we're literally just chopping up for a little bit before we continue. Unless like bullish or bearish pressure is just so strong, we just keep going. But if you look right here, as soon as we ended up taking another one of London sessions highs, what did we do? We ended up chopping up, consolidating for a little bit. What did we do on ES? We ended up consolidating for a little bit. Um, let's see. And yeah, literally after ES took the high, what did we do? We ended up consolidating for a little bit. So I mean, it's just something I've been able to peep up. So I did get quote unquote caught in the chop, but not really since um my entry was good. But I mean, yeah, that's like the only thing I would have done different was really just stick to my stop loss unless it's a true SMT, and then from there, you know, I would have been able to mitigate or close my position. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I hope you guys have an amazing day and go enjoy your day. Go journal your trades. Go get outside, explore yourself. Not like that, but yeah. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I will not be trading tomorrow. It's NFP. Taking tomorrow off. Friday, bank holiday. So I guess I'm done for the week. Ended up going 2-1 on the new funded. Up a band on the funded. So that's cool, I guess. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Honestly, I've been trading on ES. I need to go back to Nasdaq because this was honestly free bread. But on top of that, I'm learning how to freaking use my TradeAway properly within TradingView. Like I don't know, maybe I'm just confusing myself, but I'm gonna open up a demo account later and literally just like play around with the widgets and connect it to my TradingView, so I could just get my stuff together, so I could be able to just trade more on Nasdaq and heavy risk. Because I ended up going with one con, ended up going one con on ES, which is why I had a crazy RR, not crazy RR, just why I held for the longer period of time, just because I was de-risking and I was trailing my stops when it was needed. But hopefully I can get everything this week like fully like settled and fresh in my brain. By next week we should be, have the ball rolling. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Well, I'll see you guys whenever I make another video. But yeah, peace.